Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. This is Ray, and this is a video. This is a true story of. Actually, it's about an 8-year-old boy that was severely handicapped with cerebral palsy, and it is how this little 8-year-old kid taught us a lot of lessons about life. At the time, I was coaching my son baseball at the Springdale Recreation Center. He was 10 years old, and we were like 2-0, and we had a pretty good team, and so I'm coaching him, and but out of the corner of my eye, I see off in the distance this young boy in a wheelchair, and the rec center has dozens of ball fields, and but this one was empty except for this young kid in this motorized wheelchair, and he just was going around the bases for an hour. I watched him, and I could not concentrate on the game. There was something about watching him that I don't know. It touched me. It was kind of poignant. It was sad in a way. And after the game was over, we usually went to the pool and stuff. But I told my wife that I wanted to go over and just say hi to this kid. And I noticed that there was a woman that was sitting in the dugout, and I was pretty sure that that was his mother. And I don't know, I felt compelled to just go over and talk to him. And so I walked across, and it's kind of funny, really, because as I got closer to him, she came out of the dugout. Her name was Colleen. And Colleen came out of the dugout, and her face was kind of red. And I mean, she looked kind of angry. And, I got to her son before she got to me. And, I said, "Hey, how you doing? What's your name?" And then I realized that he had cerebral palsy. And I couldn't understand a word he was saying. His hands were strapped and his legs were strapped. And he was operating this wheelchair with his chin, which I thought was amazing. But Colleen, I guess you could describe it as a stomp, because she was coming toward me. And it was a little intimidating, really. And she says, "I suppose you're going to tell me that there is some rule that my son can't be out on this ball field." And, I kind of like was taken back, and I go, "No, no, no. I don't work for the park. I'm just a coach. I saw him, and I just wanted to come over and say hi to him." And, then I seen, her start to relax a little bit. And we got to talking, and I found out his name was Brendan, and I couldn't understand a word he was saying, but through some miracle of God, I don't know how, she could translate what he was wanting to say to me. And he just was just all smiles that somebody would come over and talk to him and stuff. And I don't know what happened. To this day, I don't know how it happened. It just blurted out of my mouth. I just said, "Hey, Brendan, how would you like to be a member of the Springdale Bulls, be a part of the baseball team?" And I had no idea if we had a uniform. I didn't know if the rules would allow this to happen. I don't know. I just felt compelled to make him a part of our team. And I looked at Colleen, and she kind of like had tear in her eye, and she goes, "Are you serious?" And I said, "Yeah, I would love to have Brendan be a part of our team, and with the uniform and everything." And she said, "Well, this would be the first time he'd ever had contact with normal kids. He's always been with other handicapped children." And I said, "Well, let me talk to Jim, the director, and we'll see what we can do." And I'm not promising, but I would like to see Brendan be a member of our team. And his face just, I don't know, lit up, and it was a gift just looking at him. And so I went in to talk to Jim, and he was a little hesitant. He said, "There's legal implications here. He's defenseless. What if something was to happen to him out there?" And I didn't even think about that, because he was absolutely defenseless against a foul ball or anything like that. So, but I talked him into letting me check and see if there was a uniform, and letting him be a part of our team. And I went back there, and there was one uniform left, number 10. And I got it. And Jim, God bless his heart, he said, "All right." He says, "But you are totally responsible for his safety." And so I called her that night. We'd exchanged numbers and stuff like that. And I said, "You tell Brendan that he is now officially a member of the Springdale Bulls." And she says, "Are you going to bring it over? Are you going to bring it over now?" And she actually didn't live that far away. And I said, "Absolutely." And so I took the uniform over, and I don't know if you've ever tried to dress a severely handicapped kid with cerebral palsy, but it is a task. But we got it on, and he was sitting in the chair with number 10, a member of the Springdale Bulls. And Colleen was crying, and Brendan was just beside himself with happiness. And it just made me feel so good. And, the kids, they had never seen anybody like Brendan before. They were 10 years old. They had never had any contact with someone like that. And I remember taking 3 of them, one of them my son, and I took a baseball, and I threw it toward his head, and automatically, he reached up and grabbed it. And I said, "Okay, Brendan can't do that. Anything that comes at him, he is totally defenseless. So I'm going to ask 3 of you to always guard him." And within a matter of minutes, he became a part of the team. He got out there and was racing around the bases, and the kids just accepted him. And somehow somebody came up with the idea of changing the name from Springdale Bulls to Brendan's Bulls. And we became Brendan's Bulls. We made a huge sign, and the summer was on. And the kids took to him and got to the point where they would hang their bats on the side, and he was a member of the team. And he set his wheelchair right there in the dugout, and the boys protected him. And I remember once toward the end of the season, one of the local news people were out there to do a little segment on the new edition that they were going to put on the rec center. And the reporter saw Brendan and totally forgot about the edition and wanted to do a story on Brendan. And he did. And he interviewed me, and he interviewed Colleen, and he interviewed some of the kids, and we made the TV. We made the segment on TV, and Brendan was a star. And that season, we went undefeated. And it was a perfect season. And it was perfect because of an 8-year-old boy with cerebral palsy who taught us what real winning is about, and what real compassion and determination is about, and taught us a lot of lessons. And that's my story on the perfect season. And thanks, Brendan.
Someday wish upon a star with the clouds are far behind.